Hey, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. We are live streaming on video. If you're hearing this after we're live, that's because you're hearing it on the podcast, video, zoneofgenius.com, across a number of platforms, live and on demand. We are live streaming on Clubhouse. So those of you get to hear us on the social audio app, the audio-only app called Clubhouse, Breakfast with Champions community we're in. And then, of course, live streaming across a number of platforms here with my friend Lainika Johnson. Robert Kennedy III may join in a bit here. So, Lainika, how are you feeling? How are you today? What's going on in your world? I know you've just landed from someplace to someplace, did a little this, little of that. You want to recap that for us real quick in brief, Robert? Curious what you're doing, what's happening with you, and then we'll bring in Robert and we'll continue on with the show. But how are you, Lainika Johnson?
I am so blessed. I just got back from Atlanta, spent the weekend with my traffic sales and profit family. It was like a family reunion. I'm so sad I didn't get to see you. I really thought we were going to be able to sit and chop it up. But I understand, things come up. But yeah, it was wonderful. Music Soul Child performed for us. Mike Goodwin performed for us, comedian Mike Goodwin. It was a beautiful, beautiful just weekend of just Black excellence. And we had a brunch that was for 7 and 8 figure businesses. That was really beautiful. That we had right over there across the street at the cafe.
I would have went there, Lainika, but I'm 9 and 10 figures, so I just let y'all do y'all thing. Go ahead.
I know, right? We're just such small potatoes, but we tried. We tried, and we got together, and we supported each other in our poverty. But yeah, it was great.
Nice. I'm very invested whenever Lainika talks about brunches to see how it went, because we know there's a track record that she's had some great experiences and some not great experiences. So I'm glad this one was great. That's right, I'm always invested when Lainika talks about brunch.
It was really fantastic. Like the brunch was really good. The food was good. I'm trying to think. I think it's just called the Cafe. That's just what it said on the front. I don't know what it's called, but it's at the Avalon. If you guys want to go there, really great service, really great food. It was wonderful.
Love it. And Lainika, talk to us about Press Staffing. What is it about with the triple S in the name, Press Staffing? Who should go there? Who should not go there? Talk to us about the Press Staffing.
So, I'm the CEO of Press Staffing, and really excited to really get going again this year, because I was just telling everybody we've been a year in business now. We figured out some things, and we really support entrepreneurs. That's really why we do what we do, is to help entrepreneurs get more done faster and get it done more efficiently, better. I know as entrepreneurs, we think we can do all the things, and then we end up doing none of the things because we don't have the time to do any of the things. So that's what we're here for. PressStaffing.com, remote staffing based in the Philippines. So
I love it. So let me ask you a question, Lainika. Let's say there was a dude with a shaved head and beard and an orange creative how he shows up. And he was doing an event called the Amplify Voice and Video Summit, amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. Let's pretend. Press Staffing, for example, could handle landing pages, the funnels, the design, even be live with him on the experience, and that's what Press Staffing kind of could do for amplifyvoiceandvideo.com, which is happening live, a 2-day intensive. That's kind of what y'all could do for him.
We put the battery in your back.
With the battery.
We do. We put the battery in your back. Yeah. So just like we did your event, right? We did your event. We supported in the, what was it? The green room we supported.
Yes, that's right. Green room. The guests came in. You guys handled them, and when they were live, you handled them. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so they came in, and we handled the comments, and we were just there to support. So you could do your thing.
Lainika, I'm sorry, Lainika, cut you off. I'm sorry. And then Robert, I promise we'll let you speak once at least. Brandy Woods is in the house. Oh,
Brandy Woods. What's up, Brandy Woods?
Now, what's up, Brandy? Listen, Robert Kennedy, good morning, good morning, good morning. As you finish your, I don't know, it's not Heineken, but whatever you drink in the morning, welcome, Robert Kennedy. Love you, brother. Good to have you here, Robert Kennedy. How was your week? Who are you? And as you continue on that, definitely talk about Amplify Voice and Video. But Robert Kennedy III, welcome. Glad you're here on the Rundown with Ramon show. Talk to the people as we continue our show. Welcome.
Yeah, so we're not sponsored, but I'm drinking something special that I'm trying out. So this ad has kept coming across my Facebook feed, talking about it's going to reduce my bloating and make me more attractive to my wife. Nice. So I've been checking out this Rise mushroom coffee thing.
I like that. And they know how to get you, don't you? Like for the ladies, they have different ads. They use different language for them. For the guys, it's like, don't you want to appear? So
Listen,
anybody,
I don't think I've heard the word libido so many times in a very long time. They're kind of cheeky with their ads.
oh, boy. Well, tell me, what's the name of the coffee again? Tell us all. What's up, Sheridan? What's up,
Rise,
Diana?
Rise mushroom coffee.
Whoa, it's getting hot in here. Go ahead, Robert. Continue.
Well, yeah. So I guess I didn't think that the word rise had a double entendre before, but okay. Anyway, we keeping this clean. Okay. Okay. Yeah. What's up, y'all? How you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me. I am the founder, president, owner of Kinetic Communications, a communications training firm here in Laurel, Maryland. We work with small business leaders, business owners, and particularly real estate professionals, teaching them how to show up, how to be confident and connective and compelling, both in person and on camera. Let's go. Hang out with me at the Amplify Voice and Video 2-day intensive, September 3rd and 4th this year, 2025. Yes, come on.
I think I registered for that, Robert. Can you check my registration and make sure I'm in there? I think I registered.
Yeah, let me check it out. I'll let you know.
She didn't. I'm telling you right now. The credit card went through, but she didn't register, so you should do it again, Lainika. Just register again.
I know. I was like, I want to go. I want to be in the house.
But that's nice.
Yeah.
AmplifyVoiceandVideo.com. Definitely check out AmplifyVoiceandVideo.com. Let's move on with this show. Again, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. Glad to have Lainika and Robert here today. Brandy Woods, an amazing, amazing human. It's just great to have you here. You know, some names you see, Lainika, you just warm your heart. Brandy, I know you're a busy lady. The fact that you stopped by means a lot to us. Ayanna, the musical web. Thanks for being here, Ayanna. If you're looking to have piano lessons, great for being here. And my day just went better. Sheridan Reynolds of She Prints It. It's in the house. Love to see you here, Sheridan. Thanks so much. Y'all go to She Prints It, Sheridan Reynolds. Just look her up. All the things for your printing needs, custom printing, and more, and things of that nature. So,
do you know what she did at TSP?
Lainika, tell me what she did at Traffic Sales and Profit, hosted by Lamar and Ronnie Tyler. What did she do?
She did print on demand. She made shirts on demand at the conference. Who does that?
That is powerful. Sheridan, you are the bomb. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And Karina is asking here. Usually, Karina, we don't allow questions until the last minute of the show, but I'm going to make an exception with you. My 19-year-old daughter, appearances podcast to discuss $1 million business. Nice. I Got You Trades LLC. Karina, thanks for being here today. Thanks for sharing that. I Got You Trades LLC. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is the Rundown with Ramon. Get to know me better at zoneofgenius.com. The show's already started, but we're going to dive into a few things. Robert, Lainika, and again, Lainika, thanks for joining me. Robert, thanks for joining me. Definitely remind you all as we begin the show, and I'm going to show these throughout the event. Check out AmplifyVoiceandVideo.com. Do that now, AmplifyVoiceandVideo.com. And definitely, if you're tired of doing all the things, check out PressStaffing.com. We do have two sponsors. Lainika and Robert don't even know it because I didn't give them a cut of the money. That's the way I roll. The Youth Leadership Conference is coming up next year. IYMS.world. IYMS.world. Youth Leadership Conference, inspiring youth on a mission to success, by my good friend Christina Howard, who only does things of excellence. But really, check that out in Myrtle Beach. Youth Leadership Conference, IYMS.world. Check that out. Definitely, we're also brought to you by the good people at Creative Con, run by Dominic and Julie. That's going to be in Chicago, February 2026. Creative with an 8, creativecon.com, happening in Chicago. I'll be there, and many others will be there as well. Let's get this show on the road. Robert, what do you think, Robert? Because you're kind of the, well, so is Lainika. Should I do our little 15-second little ditty, or just keep on with the show? Will it break the
Let's go.
I should do that.
Let's brand that puppy.
All right, brought to you by The Rundown with Ramon, co-hosted with Lainika Johnson and Robert Kennedy. The show is about to start. As soon as I find the button, the show's about to start right now. All right. And one thing about this show that's nice, we are broadcasting live on Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse. And so we look forward to some live engagement with our audience. Lainika Johnson, I got 3 topics to share today. Lainika, I was on the train recently on NJ Transit. And Lainika, I saw this picture. Ooh, Restream has some new little buttons. I'm going to play with these for 1 second. I'm just curious. Interesting. Not bad. I guess it depends. The picture sizing is not perfect, so it depends on how it is, but that's not bad. I like that. I guess I could, I like testing people. So yes, I'm a squirrel that's distracted. What can I say, Robert? Okay, this is nice. So Lainika, I saw this picture And I snuck and took this picture. I pretended, Lainika, Lord forgive me. I pretended I was taking a picture of something behind her on the platform. And then I slowly turned my camera and I took a picture of her. But Lainika, I just saw this beautiful picture of this mom who I assume, and it turned out to be yes, but she could have been an auntie, grandma, friend. But this mom just putting her hand on her son's head. Now, Amelia and others, we talk about this in BWC, the things of our past, trauma or not. Maybe we see things different, like it affects us. But Lainika, when I saw this picture, I didn't cry, but it just was so love. And I had good parents, good mom and dad, but it's still some things you yearn for. I remember my dad laying in bed with me, Lainika, as a little boy, because he wasn't a huggy person, but I can remember the warmth of his body. I'm 52. I may have been 6, 7, 8. And so when I saw this picture, I was like, that for me is love. So Lainika,
Right.
you can comment on this picture, things that you've seen. Have you ever seen anything where you were like, oh, wow, and it really was special to you, maybe nobody else? Talk to me, Lainika.
Yeah, I mean, this picture is like, it says so much, right? And I often talk about how moms are with our sons. We just, and I look at that picture and I think about when my son was born. When my daughter was born, she was my firstborn. I was excited, of course. I fell in love immediately. But when my son was born, I just felt this overwhelming need to just hold him close and just to make sure that he was safe. And that's what I see there. I just felt like, and still now he's 21, but I feel like I don't want him to experience heartbreak. He can't deal with that. Right. So any little thing that happens to him, it's like, as a mom, I want to protect him from it. And my daughter, she's so resilient. I'm like, and because maybe as a mom, you're kind of like, I know that I can handle it. So I'm like, girl, come on, get it together. Right. There's an old saying that we raise our daughters and we mother our sons. And this is what that reminds me of. Like, it's just, you're so, as a mom, you're so guarded and protective of your baby boys.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
I
I
think
call
that
them.
energy, and Lainika, that energy is so important. That female energy, that male energy, that mama energy, the daddy energy, it's so important. You need them both. So Lainika, thank you. Robert, talk to us. What do you feel about this? Have you gone through this? Have you seen, not pictures like this, but anything that you're like, man, that you caused you to pause, Robert, as you saw something in the streets, as it were? Talk to us.
Yeah. I don't know how old this lady is, but that little dude got in trouble with his mama, and this is his auntie or his grandmother trying to guard him from that. So yeah, he's yeah. So this is beautiful. It's awesome. It's beautiful. I think there is a special emotion that hits all of us when we see love, when we see what we assume or presume to be family love, because we all go through these different seasons, right? There's the kid where they are young and they need mama and daddy support or parental protection and affirmation and surrounding. And then this young man will get to a stage, he'll be towering over this lady.
That's right.
He'll be wanting to do his own thing. He'll be wanting to challenge and test and do what society throws on him. And so this time is special. It's a really special time. And so embrace it and don't miss the opportunity to share, not just verbally but physically, with your loved ones how you feel about them.
Because real soon she's gonna have to throw her flip flop at him. So, this moment. Yeah. It's like those moments where you just want to love on your child are so precious, because like the next moment you want to drop kick them.
That is true. That is so true. And Lainika, it's funny going back to that energy, that it's amazing whether, the worst men as they grow up or the best men. What I love is funny is this little 4 foot, 5 foot, whatever the height of a lady is, and 6 foot, 4 foot guy, total rip. He will punch Robert and I dead in the chest. He will crush us to the ground. We'll be in a fight. We'll scrapple, and then we'll make up. But Mama, you see this little woman like smacking, love it, like Mama.
Right.
In the purse. Oh, I told you, don't grab that girl. Okay, Mama. He's like, you just bench pressed, but that's the love. That's that inborn mutual respect.
It's that respect, and that's the one thing I think you can't, you just can't discount raising a child in love, because at some point that is going to be the thing that keeps them from using their physical, their physical size or whatever, that they have over you, and keeping that in check, so that you can check them, right? And they're still going to say, okay, yes, ma'am.
That's exactly right, which is so
Right.
beautiful.
Yeah, I'll throw in a story that I don't know where this will take us, and it's not necessarily a happy story, but I'll share it because it matches what we're talking about. So there's a baseball player named Ketel Marte, and baseball players, athletes, we go to stadiums, we go to the enemy ground, the enemy territory, and fans just feel like they have the right to say anything, and fans get on players and they do all sorts of things. They say all sorts of crazy stuff. The other day, Ketel Marte was at another stadium, and there was a fan. He was at bat, and there was a fan that yelled something about his mom. Now, Ketel Marte's mom passed away in a car accident in 2017. And so during the game, the fan yelled this thing, and the player became emotional while he was at bat. And then even the next inning, he went out to play the field, and he was still so emotional that his coach had to call a timeout and go to the pitcher's mound and hug him because he was in tears on the field at this time. And I was just like, wow. Number one, people are out of pocket sometimes. Number one, I don't understand why people feel like it's okay just to be mean and ridiculous. But the fact that 8 years later, it's still fresh in his mind, the relationship, the love of his mom, the feelings, the raw emotions of all of that. I mean, that really leans into the love that we're talking about here, that a young boy can and should have for his mom. And somebody put that the fan got kicked out. Not only did they get kicked out, they got banned from attending any baseball games by Major League Baseball. So be kind, y'all.
That made me think of I just saw a video last night of Northwest, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's daughter walking on her birthday. She did like this thing on her birthday. She's walking and there's paparazzi everywhere. And I don't know if it was a paparazzi or if it was some just random person in the crowd yelled something so disgusting about her mom at her. And I'm like, this is a little girl. What is she, like 11 years old? And I just think, like, why do people feel the need to be so nasty to a child, right? But to anybody, and to say something about somebody's mother, regardless of what you feel about somebody's mother, that's still their mother, right? Often say, that even children, like my children are, they're a product of divorce, right? I'm divorced. Me saying something about their father negative is going to affect them negatively. So why would I do that, right? You don't need to say, they still love their dad, regardless of how I feel about their dad. So why do you feel that you should be able to say anything about someone's parent to them? I just think that it's just such a disgusting world we live in sometimes.
No, for sure. And I'm curious, as we get ready to transition, I'm going to open the mic to the BWC side. Anybody wants to comment? But Lainika, I don't mean to get too political here, but I'm going to get political. In the right context, is it okay to say your mama jokes, Lainika? Because you a mama. Is it okay? Not right now, not if in the wrong way, but both people are okay. Because I like a good stream of jokes. I mean, I can throw that.
Hold on, I have a story. It's so funny.
Oh,
so
I thought you were going to tell your mama joke. Let's go.
It's a your mama joke story. So I raised my kids in Arizona, right? Very Mormon country. They went to school with Mormon kids. So there were just certain things they just weren't exposed to. So we moved to California right before middle school. And the first day they came home, they're like, oh my God, Mom, the kids curse. They were like so shocked. And then the next day, my son's crying when I picked him up. And I'm like, what is wrong? And he's like, they were saying things about you. They were talking about you. And I was like, about me? Like, they don't know me. And I was like, yeah, like, what are they saying? They were saying that you were fat and that you were ugly and that you were. And I said, okay, let me ask you this. Were they saying your mama is so fat? And he was like, yeah. And I said, oh my God, baby. Whew, okay. They were playing the dozen. So I take him to YouTube and show him what your mama jokes were. And so he got really into it and he started making up jokes. They were terrible, but he started making up jokes so the next day he could go to school and have all of his yo mama jokes. But it was the saddest, but also the cutest thing that I had ever seen.
I have a feeling that Robert Kennedy has said his fair share of Yo Mama jokes. But Robert, what do you think about Yo Mama jokes? Is that okay to do it in the right context? You know, if all sides agree, is that okay, or is that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think comedy overall, there's context for it. I mean, there's some things that comedians get away with saying on stage that is not appropriate to say in church or in even regular conversation or on the news or whatever. So context is key, and just make sure that you understand your audience, you understand the room, and still err on the side of kindness when you can.
And make sure you can run.
True. That too. Don't wear flip-flops.
Right.
Everybody, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon, co-hosted with Lainika Johnson, Robert Kennedy. Don't forget to check out, we're getting ready to go to BWC in a minute. Anybody has a comment? Don't forget to check out amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. Amplifyvoiceandvideo.com, the premier 2-day intensive event hosted by Robert Kennedy III himself, the expert in video and voice, and so many other things Robert does so well. Amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. Go there right now. In fact, I have a special offer. If you get 2 tickets for a loved one, you get 2 tickets. If you get 2 tickets right now, you get 2 tickets. Amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. Robert first was like, wait a minute, where's he going? Also, don't forget to check out Lainika Johnson. You want to delegate, you want to get offload a lot of the responsibilities and get some brains behind it as well. I've used Press Staffing. You should too. Press Staffing, yes, 3 S's, pressstaffing.com. Check out Press Staffing for sure, and you will not be disappointed. Also brought to you by the Youth Leadership Conference coming up next year, 2026, in Myrtle Beach, IYMS.world, inspiring youth on a mission to success, IYMS.world. Check that out. And of course, last but definitely not least, our good friends at Creative Con, creativecon.com with an 8, Creative Con by Julie Loken and Dominic. They're there. BWC family. Anybody want to unmic, say your name, and join in on anything, please? If you have a mama joke.
I would just like to say.
Yes, ma'am.
I will not say mine, but if anybody wants a ringer to play the dozens with, I promise you I win every time with it. You can message me. I will bring it out.
I love it. And you know what, Mary Lynn, stay with us here. Robert and Lainika, I think Mary Lynn, I don't want to say missed her calling because she hasn't. She's in her calling now, but this is a compliment. I give compliments like a weird way, so stay with me here. But like Mary Lynn needs to like be the Wendy Williams. She needs a show because she knows. You talk about like, oh, in 1920 they had popcorn made in Maryland's like, yeah, that was invented by Genevieve's. And then the song from the Tutus and the Blue Twos, and Mary Lynn will start singing it. And then the sport broadcaster from 1981, what was his name again? Oh, that was Jenny so and so. Mary Lynn knows pop culture.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's not one of those you want to play
that girl a show
against.
She should go on Jeopardy.
Hey, Julie. Yes, you should go on Jeopardy. That was a compliment, Mary Lynn. I hope all that was, you
I
received that
know.
well.
Heaven. That's Travaris. Like this craziness is out of my brain all the time. But yeah, I said before Robert did the only time I think the mama stuff, right? Mm-hmm. It's the dozens. You're playing the dozens. It's the setting. But that guy, I'm not for safe spaces so much. We don't want to raise snowflakes. I get that. But there's a time and a place and a decorum and a line. And I am sort of glad he was made a bit of an example of, because I think we can be a little kinder in general.
I think so. But you know what the thing is so interesting? I think your mama's so big. She's on both sides.
Your mama's back is up. Please. I want to say it so bad.
Christina, you shouldn't have told me about the chat. I'm looking.
We ain't at burnt toast yet.
All right, everybody. Anybody else? Unbike, say your name before we move on to topic 2.
No,
we'll reserve the mama jokes for later, but anybody else want to comment on anything else? Next.
I can't resist. I got a mama joke.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead. What is
Your mama's so old, she gave Jesus his first pair of sandals.
See what I'm saying, Tony? See, you flooding out. Thank you, Tony.
Anytime.
I
Anytime.
want Jesus to walk with
I
me.
do bar mitzvahs, I do birthday parties, I do graduation parties.
I love it. Who's next? Unmike, say your name. No mama jokes, preferably, if you can. Anybody else? Any other comments? All right.
Yeah, Ramon, I
Please.
just wanted to
Hail.
go back, circle back. Hey, y'all. I just really wanted to circle back to the MLB, example. And, context is key. But here's something that, and I used to take it for granted until I just heard what Robert shared. And this is a conversation I would have with my app, especially when you're winning and during like a critical game time, or maybe it's a playoffs or whatever it is. When you're usually winning, the disgusting things that people will say, and I'm talking about high school students to even collegiate athletes, even to the pros as well. But to be able to manage their emotions, expect the worst of humanity when you are winning, Ramon, to come out of their mouths, and that's just so that they can get in your head, and you cannot respond to that because there's a whole lot of police lined up ready to take you to jail if you go to the extreme with it. And I'm telling you, when I say that has helped tremendously, but I'm grateful that I have that conversation. And sometimes you have to have that early pour in. So if you do have athletes or people or winners in your life, period, and they're about to go and do something, it may be worth it to kind of have that little early pep talk. I just wanted to throw that in, like, because it does matter.
And stay with us, Shantae. And Shantae, you're right. I mean, listen, we're all human, so we could all break down. Lainika could say something right now to me. Robert could say something right now to me that triggers me. Whatever, they wouldn't know. We're all human. But on the other hand, you're right. We're athletes, the best performers in the world. Our special forces, our military, our police, whatever it is. There's a level of performance. Think of the GOAT, Michael Jordan, right? Playing with a fever, playing with a broken ankle, or a messed up ankle. So to your point, Shantae, that's what I'm pulling out is that yes, we're all human for sure. And on the other hand, sometimes you got to just somebody trashed your mama, you smile and put the bat and win by scoring. So what can I say? Robert, why are you laughing so much? You saw the comments.
That part.
I read in the chat.
Christine was like, y'all. Thank you, Sean. Which one are you laughing at, Robert? Then we're going to go to topic 2. You got to tell me.
Oh, Tony said, your mama have only one hip and they call her Eileen.
Okay, I got to stop.
That is the greatest.
Oh, boy. Everybody, welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. I didn't mean for this show to go this way. Let's go to topic number 2 before Robert gets me in trouble. Listen, yesterday, Robert and Lainika, I was with, why can't I get the 3 view? Oh, there it is. Okay. I know what it was. The picture was sized different. That's why it wasn't full. But yesterday I was with my longtime mentor, Robert and Lainika, Yakov Urinsky. Yakov is the dude on the left. He's a 2-time entrepreneur, built multi-million-dollar companies. His company is Orion Global Solutions, a Salesforce integration partner. That's neither here nor there. And when I was working at the United Nations for many years, I would go to his desk, cry, laugh, sneak out during lunchtime. And he's the one who really introduced me to business. Just, he had right, Lainika, he had like a 50-person, no, maybe 200-person company, can't remember, but a nice sized business. And he would confide in me like, hey, Ramon, okay, I'm bringing on 10 sales reps. What is a sales rep? Here's what we do. Ramon, we're onboarding. This was like 20 years ago or more. And I just wanted to honor him. His name is Yakov Urinsky. And he just introduced me, and we've been friends for this long. And then in the middle is Vicky. She started out kind of his executive assistant, his manager. She's now head of people and operation for the company. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. Do we have people, Robert, in our lives? Do you have people that you can think back who you've been with for a long time? Doesn't have to be all these things, but been with for a long time. They warm your heart. They're kind of mentorship to you. And they don't always have to be older, Robert and Lainika, right? This guy's the same age as me. I'm 52. He's in that range. So he's now no older than me, but he's been on a different path, a different journey. And we're very vulnerable, though. He talks about the struggles he has or issues. And it's just, I acknowledge him because that's where I kind of learned about the mindset. And just seeing him 20-something years ago, I remember him, Lainika and Robert, he would turn around his computer, show me his profit or loss. That's a personal thing, but he would show me, okay, Ramon, here's my target, here's my goals. And so I'm still learning it, but Yakov Urinsky, I appreciate. Robert, talk to me. Do you have people like that? Or Lainika, I'm not sure, in your life, or you think of like that person, lady or man who you finally think of? And maybe you don't. Maybe it's all people you hate. I don't know, Robert. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I do have people, but I want to talk about something else that you just mentioned. You said that he would turn around his computer and show you his profit and loss, and you think it's something personal. Man, that piece is such a mindset thing that causes um, a lot of communities to be stuck. We are private about money, right? Because we think money identifies our worth. We think money shows people who we really are, and they'll put us in a class or a category because of money. And then there's some people that are just so open about it that they don't think about it in the same way. It's a tool. It's a thing, right? There's this unspoken rule in a lot of corporate places. You don't tell people your salary, right? For one reason or another, because if you
Oh, we
do,
know the
they'll yeah, they'll go to HR, and they'll say, it's one person is making a certain amount because of their race or their gender, and another person is not. So there are there may be some legitimate reasons, but there's this mindset that you hide the money. But the truth is, when you are at a certain space in life, when you're at a certain category, right?
Mhm.
People can go online and look up your salary. They can go online and look up your net worth. They can look up almost all of your money things. So I think in some ways the idea of keeping money private is another tool or mechanism to keep a lot of people or groups of people stuck, right? So that they feel isolated, they feel without hope, they feel like they are not uh, that they have to try to dig out of a hole by themselves, and they can't access community property and community help. So I just want to encourage us with regard. I'm not saying go out in the street and show your paycheck and your P&L and your cash statements, your profit and loss statements to everybody on the street, but let go of some of the privacy and the guardedness that we feel around money.
And especially, Robert, in a refined community like this, say me, you, and Lainika, we're hanging out, we're chilling. You may not, as you said, you have to do a live stream and show the numbers. But yeah, Lainika may say, Ramon, I'm hurting this month. Oh, Ramon, cheer with me. I got him. And same with Robert. I have no problem with that. And I know we all three have communities like that on that. Lainika, talk to us. Talk to me.
Yeah, well, to answer your direct question, yes, there's several people throughout my life that have really impacted me. Some of those people, I see as mentors, and some of those people I learned from, but don't really have a relationship with, and don't necessarily want to have a relationship with. But I still was able to learn from them. One of the people that's really important to me, and I always give him his flowers, and he always plays it down, is Rod McKinnis. He has a book called Sales is Simple. I met him, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. And at the time, I was doing a weekly segment on ABC 15 in Phoenix. And he was teaching these workshops on sales. And, I attended the workshop. It was great. And then he asked me to take over as the president of the National Sales Network in Phoenix, which he was the president of. So I learned a lot from him, and he taught me literally how to take my personality, take my strengths, and turn them into basically profit, right? How to not shrink myself and try to fit into somebody's box, but actually use what it is that I'm good at, which is kind of the one-on-one, to really build, my sales. And so that's how I was able to break all those records in the trash business, was really his mentorship. We met every single Monday, and he would say, what do you have going on this week? And we would talk through it. And he'd say, okay, you got this. This is what we're doing. And really changed the trajectory of my life, led me to founding Trash Logic, right? He helped me through some of those conversations I needed to have to understand. So yeah, I have people in my life like that. And then I had a boss that had a startup that I learned a lot from. I didn't particularly like him, but I learned so much from him. And I think we sometimes think that we have to like people to learn from them, and we don't. There's so many people out there doing amazing things, and we don't have to like them as a person, right? We just have to know how to, extract what we need. So
And Lanika, you got a fan. Look below. I mean, Dr. Will Moreland, the 500 sneaker private jet Caribbean flying sold company dude. Lanika was a beast here in the valley. You got a fan.
Yeah, I met him during that time. So I met Dr. Will during that time. Yeah, when I was, I think.
And when he came to your office, like, did he speak to you directly, or did your assistant, like Becky, come down and greet him, and like you kind of intentionally delay? Like, did you like set him proper the pecking order?
Yeah,
like,
no, Dr. Will was the beast. So Dr. Will came from Germany, came in there like, I'm taking over. He showed up in Phoenix like, look, I'm here. I'm taking over.
I love it.
I don't know what y'all talking about, but this is my city now. That's how he came into Phoenix.
I love it. Dr. Will, we love you. A well-connected, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah.
smart man. All right. This is good. This is good. Again, everybody, we're 37 minutes into the hour. This is the Rundown with Ramon show with Lainika Johnson and Robert Kennedy. We're glad you all are here. We like to have fun, as you can tell. Sometimes we hope to give a little bit of information and insight to you all. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, watching this show, if you're with us on Clubhouse, we're going to come back to Clubhouse in a minute here. Want to see if anybody has comments about anybody in your life who is meaningful. But I really encourage you. You've seen Robert for a minute here now. Follow him online. Check him out on Facebook. Follow him on LinkedIn. A good guy to know. And amplifyvoiceandvideo.com, amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. I suspect, Robert hasn't told me, but I read people well, that this will be an ecosystem of Robert, and this is not going away. That I'm guessing, Robert, we may see things birthed on this platform, in the coming months and years. So amplifyvoiceandvideo.com, sign up on the list, check out what he's doing. He has a 2-day intensive coming up at the end of August and more. If you want to amplify your voice and video and really make a more impact in the world, really, Robert is one cool cat, cool guy, honorable man who can help you do that. So definitely check out amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. And absolutely, if you wake up every day like, I got too many things to do. Do I got it on my website? Do I got it in my funnel? Do I got it? I don't know if they sound like that, Nika, but that's what I'm saying people sound like. You definitely want to check out pressstaffing.com. Pressstaffing.com, led by Lainika Johnson. She does it well.
Can I tell them something we're doing now? So every Friday, I don't have the link with me right now, but I will, I'll share it later. But every Friday we are having open Zoom hours for any VAs. So if you have a VA working in your company and they are struggling with, using any tools, whether it's Go High Level, whether it's Canva, whatever it is, they can jump on to the open Zoom hours from 8 to 3 Pacific time on Fridays, and they can get help from our team. So
I like that. Right. Pressstaffing.com. Maybe put a link on there. We'll send it to everybody afterwards, but remind me of that, Lainika. I'll share that. Pressstaffing.com. What if they're trying to use Truth Social better, Lainika? Can y'all help them with that too? Like if they're using Truth Social and they can't.
I'm sure there's somebody who can help you use that terrible platform. I'm sure. Yeah.
Hey, Robert, like Lainika. She's always ready. She don't mind me. She just keep moving on.
It's a social media platform. So yes, absolutely, they can help you with that.
I love it. Dr. Jeannie, good to see you here on the video. Thank you, Christina Howard, for amplifying this on the chat on the Facebook side. I appreciate you, Christina Howard, so much. All right. BWC, anybody want to unmic, say your name, anything we talked about? We talked about mentorship, people who inspired you over the years, anything anybody wanted to chime in on any topic. The mic is yours if you wish before we go to our topic number 3. Anybody? All right. Good. I'll take that silence. Here's what happened, Lainika and Robert, though. When I move on, it was a sticky mic. So that's why I wait. People say, Ramon, 2 seconds is not enough to wait. So I wait 4 seconds. And then invariably it is. Let me pause one more time. All right.
We're gasping for air, Ramon. We're still trying to breathe.
That's why they're so quiet. They're not even listening to us. They're just reading the chat.
They're in the chat.
I love it. Still laughing, probably. Y'all are too much, but it's been great to be here again. This show is amazing, and I'm just grateful really to you, Lainika and Robert, for seeing value in being here. It goes 2 ways. I tell even teams I work with and others that relationships are 2 ways. This is not a thing where, hey, Robert's like, Ramon, can I be on the show? Or I'm like, Robert, it's mutual. I need Robert on the show. He wants to be on the show. Lainika, same thing. So thank you, Lainika. Thank you, Robert, for being here. Topic number 3, Lainika and Robert. I went to Intuit's, with a few things I'm going to unpack here. I'm going to play a short video, and then I'll turn to you first, Lainika. But I went to Intuit's launch of their kind of Intuit QuickBooks AI launch. These big companies have launches all the time, launches and Las Vegas, CES, New York, pop-ups, all kind of things, multi-million-dollar things. So I went to Intuit QuickBooks AI launch, kind of unveiling their new agentic AI bots and flows and automations to help you use Intuit QuickBooks better. So that's where I went. One thing, Lainika and Robert, is that it was amazing how I felt so much like I was a big fish in a small pond. None of the three of us here are known globally, blah, 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 whatever it is, like a real celebrity, but being in that room, Intuit being a giant, the most used small business brand, everybody in the room knew me. I felt like royalty, like I was, and I am a celebrity, right? The book Celebrity CEO. So it's just, that's number two. We're all well known. I see Lainika, her in the trash industry, she goes to the right event, everybody will know her name. Same with Robert, in the right event. So I think that's number two. It's very few of us will be known in the whole world, right, but we all can do our best to be known more in the spheres we're in. So that's number two. Then the second thing, Lainika and Robert, is that I got to talk to the Intuit CEO, and that's a big deal, people. Intuit CEO, Intuit's a multi-billion-dollar company. They bought MailChimp. So you do the math, and they're like, Ramon, you got 5 minutes with him. He's an executive at that level. It wasn't even scheduled, but I got the interview, and I only used 2 minutes of his time. So I just wanted to play something. He was born in Iran, struggled when he was younger, bullied when he was younger, and I didn't know all this until recently, and just to be able to hear from this CEO was amazing. 2-minute clip. I'm just going to play this on Lainika and Robert real quick, and then we'll be right back. Hey everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. Welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. Thank you so much for being with us today, Sasan. Appreciate it. Can you give us your full name and, of course, the name of the amazing company who you're with?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Sasan Godarzi with Intuit.
Great. So the one question I have for you, talking to small business owners today, how do we lead in challenging times? That's really the main question. You're leading an amazing organization, but you all serve millions of small businesses. What's your best advice on how we lead when we're not sure what's happening tomorrow or next month? What do we do?
So, by the way, I come from a family of a small business. The only reason I'm here is because of my brother started a small business, and I remember sitting in an apartment in the closet working on with my brother getting his bills paid. And I remember every week we wondered if he was gonna go out of business, and I was 10 years old, which means we couldn't put food on the table. I only give you that construct because I have incredible respect for the grit, the perseverance that it takes to be a small business. The advice that I would give comes from a place of seeing what my brother did real time for 15 years. And I would just say one is focus on your customers and have the grit to push through. The second thing is focus on your cash flow.
Yes.
And I can't reiterate that enough, because as a small business,
I'm going to stop that right there. I think we got the gist of it, Lainika and Robert, but I just wanted your thoughts on that. For me, again, there's several things, Lainika, I'll turn to you first. Cash flow, grit, but I like the guy's smile. I was honored when he just stopped and said, thank you for being here, because that's me, that's my love language. But that executive, he could have just went on and interviewed, but he said, no, thank you, Ramon, for being at this event. Thank you for taking the time. So, Lainika, anything there that you want to pull on, please?
No, I think it's special when people take the time, to acknowledge us, to spend time with us, to pour into us. I just think that it's just special anytime. Like, I really appreciate the time that you spend with me, even, outside of this platform, just, sharing things and, telling me your thoughts, all of those things, I think really create that tapestry in our lives of like just the different facets and the beauty. And I don't know, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the people that take the time. And the other thing is, somebody brought this up to me the other day. I think when people get to a certain level of success, we assume that they're not human like us. And they just want connection too. Right? They want to connect too.
And in the video, Lainika, you'll see he touched my arm, my shoulder. That was another one. I almost fell off the chair, Robert, Lainika, because that's my love language. And I touched him back. I did like an Obama, Clinton, one of those guys. But continue on, Lainika.
Yeah,
continue.
I mean, like, I don't know if I would feel like passing out unless it was Beyonce, but I just really think that, we tend to put people into this like golden bubble that they're stuck in because, no longer, I mean, even on this small scale, like there are people who don't invite me to things and they're like, well, I didn't think you would come. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you don't think I would come? Well, that's why I'm in the house all the time. Y'all don't invite me anywhere, right? Like, I still want to go to things. I still want to celebrate your birthday with you. You know, I still want to chop it up with you over a meal. I'm not that busy, right? And just think about people that are like him, that are the CEO of a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar company. You know, people just assume he's not going to come to their wedding, or he's not, you know, he doesn't want to go to happy hour with them. You know, so I think, you know, we need to remember that, you know, they're people too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Robert, talk to me. What'd you get from that clip or anything I shared?
Well,
just
what
now?
I got was that wasn't you. That was a clone. That was Damone Day. I don't know. That dude had hair. I mean, who was that guy?
Once a week, it all comes
There
off.
we go. There we go. So yeah, you know, I love what Lainika said. They're people, and often we see people who are in spaces that we are not, that are admired, that are recognized, and we just think that they are a special breed of human. They are aliens. They were crafted and created in some other locker and freezer and lab and placed in these positions that we don't have the ability to be placed in. And I remember one of my first businesses where I interviewed and promoted gospel artists. And so it was amazing before I got to meet some of them, how I thought about them. And I put them in these pedestals and these places. But then when I got to speak to them on the phone, or when I was backstage with some of them, or got to meet some of them in person, and they're having these regular conversations, and they're having these regular people problems. They're having these regular people fears. They're having these regular people emotions. I was like, whoa, they're people. They're standing on stage in front of a mic and got 10, 20,000 people screaming. But in their regular space, in their one-on-one space, they're regular people. And so it's amazing. Even you think about some of the other ones. I remember a friend of mine when I lived in Massachusetts, there was this place called the Maharishi Ayurveda that a lot of celebrities used to go to. And so one of my friends worked there, and Michael Jackson came. And so he was able to sit and have conversation with Michael Jackson. He was like, he's a regular dude. He's a regular guy. I mean, yeah, we see the quirks in the media or whatever, but regular guy, and for the most part doesn't even want to be thought of or treated like a celebrity with, we bow down every time they enter the space. And so just remembering that. I think I love what Lainika said, remembering that people are human, and they crave touch and emotion and affirmation and love, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
That's right. And Robert, you just say, your mic shifted a slight bit. You did something. So I can hear you fine, but just so you know, professional, because I know Robert's like the perfect audio person. Something just went.
Yeah, I heard it. It went down.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
It
Yeah,
just went a little bit muffled, a little bit.
Okay. Sorry about that.
But Lainika and Robert, going back to that, I saw a clip, a reel with. See, this is where I need Mary Lynn. Like, she needs to be in my ear. But Taraji Henson.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's her name.
I said it right.
Taraji Henson.
Thank you, Mary Lynn. Taraji Henson. She's on the street. I think it looked like she was getting an Uber, right? Because she's looking up, look phone, like we all do.
I did see that.
So no security around her.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that clip.
You saw that. Yeah. You saw that clip. And the predators were in her grill. Lainika, of course, guys. The predators were in her grill. Yeah, Miss Hanson, Taraji, blah, 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 blah. The bottom line I got there, the end of the story is the guy wanted to give her a book, probably. I get it for his selfie purposes, to have her endorse it, sign it. Doesn't matter. I get the game, because as you know, Lainika and Robert, to a degree, that's Ramon, right? Meaning I take advantage of those opportunities. But I was so sad because how they approached her, I'm like, if Lainika was Taraji and I wanted to talk to her, not talk to her like romantic way, talk to her, but like business, I bet I could have got it done. But there's a way to do it. You don't scream out and all that, because I've done it many times. When I've done it, I'm not saying it's worked all the time, but I'll be, hey, Lainika, I know you're walking to the Uber. Can I just walk for a few minutes? I admire your movie, last one. Thank you for what you provide. even maybe just that, then I might just say, hey, listen, can I get a selfie with you after that? And I may stretch it, Lenny, because I've done it and saying, listen, what's the best way that I can work with you and somewhere my team can? And she said, hey, listen, talk to my agent. She's saying a download. His name is so-and-so. That's how I do. Because I've been there before. I've been at, Gary Vaynerchuk's event, high-level people. Lenika's, they could give you her cell number, but I find the best way is, Lanika, who's your people? Who's your admin? Can I talk to them? So I just want to say, I was a little annoyed, but Robert, since you saw it, you
Yeah, I
could have
saw
too,
it
Lanika.
too,
But Robert,
yeah.
I mean, the truth is, she was nice. She gave them some time a day. She gave them answers to some of the questions, and she was walking and she stayed with them until she got to the space. But then they kind of try to flip the script and turn a little bit and take advantage of her time and her kindness. And then when she finally put her boundary down and said, no, I've got to do this, then they got a little bit nasty. And I was like, what kind of craziness is this? So.
And Robert, I think and I want you to jump in, Lanika, but Robert, as men, and again, I am biased. Lady's got her heels on. She's dressed all up in the nines. That's a vulnerable position. So you give space. You don't just, I wouldn't roll up. I mean, Lanika knows me, but I wouldn't roll up with her in a parking lot. She's putting her groceries. Hi, Lanika, can I get your? It's just, she's going to be like, and then you wonder why you get maced to get stabbed because she don't know me. But go ahead, Lanika, talk.
Yeah, I mean, as a woman, you're already apprehensive when, a man approaches you that you don't know.
And these are three.
And it's three of them, and they were really, really persistent. And Ardeen from My Melanin, right? Ardeen Miller. She's we were talking this weekend about a man who approached me when I was getting out of the car, and I snapped and I said, hey, don't do that. Right. So all weekend she kept saying, hey, don't do that, right? Because I was like, don't do that. Don't walk up to me.
That's right.
And I don't know you. And you're so close to me. I don't know what you're coming to me for. It makes you feel very, very vulnerable, and as women, we're already on guard. So as a man, you just have more physical strength, whatever, men will say, oh, but I thought you guys wanted to be equal, whatever, man, hush. You're more, you can physically overpower me, and I need you to take 3 steps back and talk to me from over there.
And Lanika, you already got good men, people like Favor, John, GA, Chima, they just want to hit on you and talk to you. Yo, baby, can I get your number? You already got the good men. So those, you ain't worried about them, but you're like, not now, dude. And then you have to worry, is this a predator or a good man that you're talking to me? I mean, you got to make those decisions fast, right? I mean, Robert and I, we married men, we'd be like, good afternoon, Miss Lanika, how are you? But other men on here, man, you gotta, these guys will snatch your number. No, I'm just messing with y'all.
But there is a sense of entitlement in those interactions. Like what you saw with those men, it was a sense of entitlement. They felt like they were entitled to her time, and they were entitled to, her attention, and entitled to those things. And that's a problem.
Well, that's paparazzi mentality, though. And I won't say that is just men. I think the whole paparazzi culture, especially in certain areas of the country, is get the call, get the picture, get the interview, get it at all costs. And so for me, when you have a celebrity coming out of a restaurant and people jumping out of the bushes like, hey, and that's like insanity to me.
It's
like,
insanity.
Dude, is that your life? I mean, who sits in the bushes for 3 hours?
Right.
Well, Robert, in fairness, Robert, that is a business.
It is a business.
In fairness, that is a business. So, I'm not in that business, but I do. On the other hand, the few shots I've had of Ivanka Trump or Colin Powell and all the things, Hillary Clinton, I definitely am about paparazzi, as you know, Robert, but I get the feeling of that. But it's just, for me, it's how, like the Taraji one, since we all three saw that, it's how they showed up. The pack mentality, the aggression. I was angry because it makes people like me bad. Like if I was there, I wouldn't have even approached her. I would have walked away because I said, I would use a word I shouldn't use. I'd be like, y'all gentlemen are messing my game up. Because I've been there before. Like I'm trying to talk to, I was sitting next to the Zappos, he passed away, but Zappos founder, things like that. All the crowds of people. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, nope, wrong. Now they just messed up my vibe. I need to be alone. Hey, Miss Lanika, I know you're going to the bathroom. Can I just wait out here real quick? I would love to just chat with you for 30 seconds to get one tip for you. I've done that dozens of times. That soft, nice approach, and it's been always a yes.
Yeah, it's
Christina
exactly
said,
what
like,
Christina
don't tell
said.
me.
They have no home training.
Exactly. Listen, everybody, 56 after the hour, according to my math. If it's still correct, that means 4 minutes to the top of the hour. This is the Rundown with Ramon with the amazing. And I'm going to give Lainika and Robert the last words here. Robert Johnson, Robert Kennedy the third, amplify voice and video.
I'll take Robert Johnson's
Kennedy the third.
money. How about that?
That's right. Voice and video, Amplify Voice and Video. You definitely want to check him out, and I'll give him time to unpack that in a minute. Amplify Voice and Video. Check it out now. Definitely my good friend, other friend here, Lainika Johnson, who's here. Press Staffing. Don't forget, she said on Fridays, come by and have your team, have your VA learn how to use tools better with Lainika Johnson. PressStaffing.com. And again, brought to you by my good friend, Christina Howard. Inspiring youth on a mission to success. She has a passion to help America's and eventually the world's youth do better and become better leaders, to inspire them to succeed. IYMS.world. IYMS.world. Whether you can come or not, donate for sure. It's going to a great cause to help young people. And of course, our my friend Julie Loken and Dominique, Creative Con, coming up in Chicago in February 2026. CreativeCon.com with an 8, CreativeCon.com. Lainika, I'll turn to you first. Lainika, talk to us. Anything you wanted to say, anything, whatever. The mic is yours as we get ready to close down this show.
Just, thank you all for joining us every week. Ramon, thank you for having me here. Thank you for those of you who have reached out to Press Staffing to help you with your staffing needs. And those of you who haven't yet, we're waiting for you. So I look forward to being here every week. And if you have VAs that need help and they're just not really cutting it, send them to me. I'll fix them.
Yeah, we'll get some home training.
Get some home training.
Listen, that sounded scary for a second. I'm gonna fix them.
I'll fix them.
They come back to the team limping. Like, where were you? Oh,
Lainika got me right. Let's go.
Your mic.
Yeah. Well, listen, I like Lainika I'm glad. I'm ecstatic to be a part of this family, to be a part of this crew, and just so glad to sit with you on Tuesday mornings here. We're honored to be not just in your presence, bro. I'm honored to be asked to be a part of this moment. So thank you. I'm grateful. And as we've talked about the Amplify Voice and Video 2-day intensive, just want to share with people, if you have questions about it, please reach out to me. Please reach out on LinkedIn is an easy place to reach out to me. The summit is designed as 2 days. First day, we're really going to break down a signature talk, help you to discover, develop, and deliver that signature talk. And then we'll create video content that you can utilize to share your message, to source additional opportunities. Day 2, we're going to be in a studio where we're going to be doing some podcast interviews so that you can have short content that you can then use to create at least 2 months worth of social content for yourself as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be leveling up and amplifying, y'all. So if you've got any questions, any thoughts, yes, head on over to amplifyvoiceandvideo.com. But if you've got questions, reach out to me on LinkedIn or just go to robertkennedy3.me and share any thoughts, questions there. And I will get back to you, myself or one of the team members. Or maybe we should just say, yay, call us and the Press Staffing people. They'll get back to you.
There we go. See the synergy? Everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. Get to know me better at zoneofgenius.com. Zoneofgenius.com. Thank you, Lainika. Thank you, Robert. We're getting ready. Those who are watching the video only, definitely download the Clubhouse app. Breakfast with Champions. Robert, I love you and appreciate you. Lainika.